يا راغبا في كل علم نافع.
ينمو العلم ويتقدم بتقنياته ومجالاته، ومعه نطور أدواتنا في تقديم العلم الشرعي. أكاديمية
زاد أكاديمية ينبوعها صاف ليروي غلة الظمآن. وتعلم الفقه الميسر عاملا بالشرع دون تعصب لفلان. بشرى لنا زاد أكاديمية للعلم كالأزهار في البستان.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه. There are conditions of the ijara contract. And to recap, what does ijara mean? Leasing or renting or hiring. So I'm not buying, actually I'm acquiring a service. So there are conditions. These conditions are as follow. Number one, the consent. So there has to be mutual consent between the two parties, and this is a no-brainer. We can't force people to rent us their property. I can't force people to lease my car. There has to be mutual consent between the two parties. Also, those involved in such a transaction, they need to have the qualification in order to be acceptable for them to dispose their wealth. So they have to be sane, they have to be adult, they have to be trusted with their wealth. I can't go to someone who's a child and say to him, rent me your house and the likes. Thirdly, the service and the fee must be known. As I said, I can't conclude a contract with a person to lease something and I give him the money and we don't know what property I'm leasing. He has 6 or 7 properties. Which one of them? No, this is totally prohibited and unacceptable. Fourthly, the service provided must be halal. So the benefit should be something that is permissible, which means that I cannot rent or hire or lease the service of a singer or an actress or a dancer or musical bands. I can't hire a sorcerer or a fortune teller. I can't hire or obtain the service of hookah and cigarettes or e-cigarettes and the likes, entertainment equipment such as DVDs, movies, rent movies and the likes. All of this is haram because the service itself is haram, so leasing it or renting it is also haram. The service I'm obtaining, and this is a condition, has to be owned by the person leasing it to me. So, or at least he's authorized. I can't have a deal with someone telling me, I'm giving you the Eiffel Tower for rent for 3 nights. Do you own the tower? No, but I'm giving it to you for rent. No, this is not applicable. And finally, the 6th condition is the period of time. So many third world countries, we go and see tenants living in apartments they've rented 30 years ago and can be evicted. The owner of the building can't kick them out and get someone to pay more, and he cannot raise the rent. 30 years. So imagine renting your apartment in your building for $50 a month. when you can easily get $1,000 if a new tenant were to come in. But because this is the system, this is haram in Islam and it's not permissible. So again, the Prophet said, Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, in the beginning of chapter 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Collaborate upon righteousness and piety, and do not collaborate upon transgression and vice or sin. Which means that any type of leasing or hiring or renting that would endorse or entertain haram is prohibited. Someone comes to me wanting to rent my house or property. I don't know anything about him. That's permissible. We sign and he goes. But if someone says to me, oh, I'd like to rent your property so that I could open a branch for my interest-based riba bank, or I'd like to open a pub or a bar or a nightclub or a brothel, may Allah forbid, and I'm interested in the rent. No, this is totally haram, and the rent I'm getting is also haram for this purpose. Now, there are different types of ijara. So, and this is logical. Either I am renting or hiring items, or I am hiring people. So in the first category, when we rent something, we rent a property to live in, or rent a car, or rent a farm, or rent equipment, or rent furniture. These are types that people may use, items that they are getting for a period of time in exchange for an X amount of money. The second type is when people rent people. So actually, it's not slavery. I'm renting the service a person can provide for me. And this type is like when I rent a driver to be my chauffeur for 8 hours, when I rent a taxi, when I rent an electrician to fix something in my house, when I rent a plumber or someone to paint, when I rent a doctor to operate on me, or to fix my tooth, or to find what's wrong with my body. When I rent, it's actually hiring or paying someone for their services, an engineer to oversee and supervise the construction of my building, a mechanic to fix my machine or my car. All of this is acquiring the service of an individual. Unlike the first type, where I'm acquiring the service of an item. And we will come, inshallah, in the next class to discuss about the difference of the two types of hiring people, whether they're exclusive for me or they are joint with other people in their services as well. هذا والله أعلم ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد.
يا راغبا في كل علم نافع
ينمو العلم ويتقدم بتقنياته ومجالاته، ومعه نطور أدواتنا في تقديم العلم الشرعي. أكاديمية
زاد أكاديمية ينبوعها صاف ليروي غلة الظمآن، وتعلم الفقه الميسر عاملا بالشرع دون تعصب لفلان. بشرى لنا زاد أكاديمية للعلم كالأزهار في البستان.